I'm outside right now. I was going to show the part of my shop that I use outside, the carport. I sand out here, I can spray paint out here. This is only in the spring, summer, and fall. And I do store some of the cheaper plywood out here, especially full sheets. And I also cut all my bigger plywood pieces when I bring them in. I can just back the car up to here and pull the plywood out to the table, and then I use a track saw. And the reason I'm doing this right now is because it leads into a video I'm going to do about the track saw, so I might as well show you up to that point. I'll take the camera off a time or two, or shut it off and move it, so there might be that. Also, there's some roofing going on next door, so hopefully that doesn't get too in the way of this. Now, this area right here is where I keep the plywood. I also have some tables that I use, that you get at Costco or whatever, and some benches, and I've got some wood up here, and I'll show you what that's for. This swings out. You can see it's on 3 hinges, or maybe you can't see. I'll have to show you. But there's 3 hinges, and this swings away. I'll try to do that right now. Now you can see it swing away here, I think, hopefully. Anyway, there's a wheel down at the other end. The one bad thing is I can't swing it out much farther than this, but I can slide plywood in and out. I have such a slope on this carport that would be in the way. So that's how it pulls out. I'm going to put this on pause and put it back and show you how I do my table out here. Now I'll show you real quick how I have the storage set up. You can see the hinges right there. And I'll back away from this so you can see how it is. It's just some cheap wood, except the bottom is, I think it's a 2x12. Might be a 2x10 or, yeah. Well, I think it's a 2x12. And I just made a frame out of some pine. And then you can see down below, way down in there, is a gate latch that latches it. And I kind of tug the top part in so it doesn't bow out with a strap like that. And then, of course, I have, this is my outside table, which I'll show you when I get it together. Here's where I store. I have this connected, and I pull those through, and you can see the end of the hose over there. I can use it for sanding and my track saw. That valve right there, the upper one, goes inside the garage to my shop. This valve is used, of course, out here. I just used this rockler setup with a remote, and to keep the noise down a little bit, I made kind of a box for it that is insulated, and but believe it or not, that really works well in my whole shop. Now, because it's outside, I don't have to have a micron, like a 5-micron bag. I have the bag that came with it, which lets more dust through. So if I had this in the shop, I would want a better sealed, I also have air out here. I would have a better sealed bag, but since it's outside, it can come out. So I think that's why I get a little bit more pressure or sucking, because the bag doesn't get filled so much. I'm outside, so a little bit of dust that gets through isn't going to hurt anybody. So anyway, that's what we have here. So in a minute I'm going to set up my table, show you how I do that. Okay, ooh, do I get this on? Yeah. Okay, I'm setting up my table now. Now, what I use is these DeWalt, and I like them because I can adjust the bottoms, and since I have a sloped driveway, it makes it easier to level this. So, great, my sprinkling system just went off, so hopefully that doesn't make too much noise. Anyway, I have two of these. Let's see, I gotta see if you can see that. Boy, I hope this isn't too noisy. Doggone it. Anyway, it looks like you can see it. So, then what I do is I have two boards, two 2x4s that I can put down pretty much anywhere. And they sit in these channels on these sawhorses. And you can see I've notched these two 2x4s. And the reason is I made all these, and I can just make these as I need them. They fit in here. Some of them are a little tight. And I think I have one about every 12 inches. Just some 1x cedar that I bought at the big box store. Now I can flip these over and use them, and I cut right across them. You know, I don't let the blade, you can see like here, I've cut in a couple times there, and I can flip them over and use them later. So these will last a long time. The other thing I can do is I can make this wider by sliding this way. This is my tight one. This way, as you can see, I can get a full sheet of plywood on here really easy, and I can do cutting without sheets falling away. And very cheap to do this. So, and you could just use wood sawhorses if you want. I just use these because the legs were adjustable. So anyway, that's how I set my table up. And then I'll hold down my collection. I can put things to sand on here. I can put things to spray or whatever, and or I can just put them on the ground. There's places where you can see some paint and finish on the concrete. But that's my outside table, and I use that for any of my bigger stuff. In fact, sometimes, like recently, I built an item and a piece that I bought a bunch of 5/4 oak, and it was all rough cut. So what I did was I put it on here, and I don't have space for a jointer. And I can edge joint on my router, and I do have a number 6, I think, a hand plane that I can edge joint with also. And I use those when I don't want to take the time to pull out the track saw. But in this case, these boards were 8 to 10 feet long, so I use my track saw, and I run down, and I've got a straight edge. So that works really well. I'm getting ready to do a video on my parallel guides for the DeWalt track saw. There are none available. And anyway, so stay tuned for that. Other than that, outside here, I think we're pretty much done. That's what I do. Oh, here, you can hear my my dust collection out here. And that's it. So, thank you very much.